So what is going on, everybody? Today we're actually going to be talking about some big changes that they did after the PTS. So you guys know that we had PTS 1, PTS 2 for the Division 2. And then after that, they always come up, they get everybody's feedback, they find out what everybody reported on, what they said, and then they make their changes. And they did. And I think a lot of you guys will be excited with what we found out today. So if you guys enjoy videos like this, make sure you leave a thumbs up. Don't forget, tomorrow we will be having Ubisoft Forward right here. Super hyped. It should be a banger. And don't forget, we will have some game giveaways live on the stream. So definitely be there, have some giveaways, plus we'll be co-streaming Ubisoft Forward, and I'm excited, and hopefully you guys are. So let's get into the video and find out what we found out. So if you go to the Division 2's new tracker for their bugs, their fixes, their changes, they do tend to update that from time to time. As you guys are seeing here, this is where you guys can go in there. I'll put a link to it and report any bugs you find in the game. So this is something that they made new. Everybody has access to it. You just need to log in and then you can report your issues there. So if you look right here, it says Information Center. It says reported, investigating, in progress, and then fix ready. That means this is ready to go live. Now, the new update's supposed to go live, I want to say near the end of the month. You know, it was supposed to go live in a week or so, but they were pushing it to the end of the month to make sure they have everything. That can definitely change. We'll keep an ear out for when they say this will be going live. But if we go to fix ready, we actually go down to, let's start off with the Shrapnel Trap. So a lot of you guys asked about getting the Shrapnel Trap nerfed. I agreed with it. It needed to. It's literally a one-shot, kills everything. It says, as a temporary solution, we decided to significantly reduce the Shrapnel Trap efficiency in PvP in order to dissuade players from using it. So no longer can you just run out there, spam it, and kill everybody at once. They did nerf it until they can figure out what's a good balance between keeping it and not keeping it. So that's something for you guys to keep in mind. Now, we're actually going to the Strikers Battle Gear. Now, this was a set that I tested during the PTS, and I talked to you guys a lot about it. And I want to say it was very, I want to say underperforming, but it was just very hard to keep the stacks up. And they actually made a change that I think a lot of you guys are going to look at. So let's look at this. Strikers Gamble. Weapon hits increase total weapon damage by 0.65%, which was the same, stacking up to 100 times. 1 stack lost per second between 0 and 50 stacks, and then 2 stacks lost per second between 51 and 100. Now, there is a chest piece and backpack talent on both of these, but the press to advantage talent, look what it does now. It increases max stacks of the Strikers Gamble from 100 to 200, which it did before, but this is where the change comes in. Only 3 stacks are lost per second between 101 to 200, and I think it was up to 4 from 100 to 150, and wasn't it 5 from 150 to 200? I think that's what it was. It was around those numbers. Now it's only 3 stacks. So what this is going to allow you to do is keep that damage up there. So we may not have gotten the armor regen a lot of us were asking for, but this right here is a great way for this set to still be very powerful. So I can see a lot of people using this set as a pure DPS set, and only time will tell. Maybe in the future they'll add armor regen to it. Maybe it's just a set that we're always just gonna have to realize it will never be as good as Division 1. But definitely this is a great change because I really thought it was gonna push people from using the 100 to 200 stack. That people just wouldn't go for it and they would just run something else. So now with this, I can see people actually using it to keep that, and keeping 200 stacks is going to be a lot easier to even do with those ARs. So this is actually a great change. I would love to see how it performs live in game so everybody will be able to see this. This is going to come out in title update 16.1. It looks like it says 16.1. So I guess when it drops, it'll drop 16.1. And we go up to the new holster. They actually changed it again because, you know, when it first came out, it had a 20% roll and 2 red rolls or 2 blue rolls, two attributes, right? Plus you could have a red, blue, or yellow core attribute. Now they changed it again. So in the last PTS, they made it a 20% red roll. So it just would seem like a lot of people weren't going to use it, right? But now what they did, I think a lot of people might actually use this, It says following PTS phase 2 feedback, we removed the 20% weapon damage from the perfect core. Now what it's going to do, it's going to roll with the blue roll, but you can actually change that to yellow or red. And it's going to have a perfect attribute of 15% weapon damage and only one attribute. So that was their balance. Before it was 20%, 2 attributes, and then your core. Now it's your core, right? You could do blue, red, yellow, whatever you want. It's going to roll with blue, but you could change that. It's going to have that 15% weapon damage and only have one attribute. So they kind of balance it that way. I kind of see this might actually be a meta piece, but the brand talent is only skill haste. So it could be good for those hybrid builds. And it's going to be tough because if you start having the contractor gloves, the Overlord knee pads, Foxfire knee pads, and then you have these, you're going to start to lose a lot of red cores. Like you start to lose like crit chance, crit damage, and you're going to start taking away. So you're going to have to like sacrifice something. I definitely want to see what this will do in live gameplay and see if this is going to be a meta piece or just be one of those pieces that works well with certain builds and doesn't with others. So gotta wait, see. Think that's a good change. I don't think anybody was going to use the other way they had it with the 20%. It was almost just like running that piece was like running a Walker and Harris, right? Because Walker and Harris gives you 5% weapon damage, plus you could have 15% roll. It turned into a Walker and Harris piece, and I'm glad that they actually changed that. At least now it could be something that people will put into their builds. And then finally, they talk about the exotic drop rate. They said starting at World Tier 5 and above, exotic items will now have a small chance to drop from any NPC in the entire game, starting from challenge difficulty and above. So this is going to be happening in Title Update 16, but this is the drop rate so you guys can see the open world will now have 0.018%. The heroic open world will have 0.024%, so a little bit better. And then main and side missions have the same. The dark zone exotic drop rate actually got improved to 0.072, so it's gonna have the highest open world drop rate out of everything. Raids have the same, strongholds have the same, except legendary has a higher drop rate. The same with countdown. If you do it on legendary, you have a higher drop rate than with countdown. And then obviously summit has the same as the open world. So summit from 0 to level 60 looks like about the same. And then once you get to 60 to 80, you get 0.030. And then from 80 to 100, 0.032. So it looks like the dark zone is going to have the highest drop rate for exotics. So if you're exotic farming and you want to hit those landmarks, it might be better to really storm the dark zone, but it's that high risk, high reward, or you can just do open world, a lot of NPCs. So a lot of different things there. Honestly think some pretty good changes, guys. I think this is great, and I think a lot of you guys are going to like these changes. And we still have a lot to work to do, but this is great. This is a good step in the right direction. They actually were listening to a lot of the feedback with the striker set because I really thought that the change really hurt it, but I think it's going to be one of the better sets for DPS. The holster really got nerfed. Now it's back in the game. The open world exotic drop rate, a great fix. The Shrapnel Trap needed to be toned down a little because it was actually pretty bad. And next, status effects. Hopefully they can kind of have a balance or have good counters to it to help it out and then just kind of balance PvP as a whole. But if you guys want to put any of your known issues, if you know any glitches, if you know any bugs, you can put it on this site right here. I'll put a link down below. Great site. Hey, this is good news. Don't forget, tomorrow, guys, hype is real. We'll see you guys then. Until then, hey, nothing but skills. I'll take it easy, everybody.